Husband was seen gesturing towards the public and the supporters to maintain silence, to keep quiet and not chant these slogans, because this is a very emotional moment for the entire family, not just Sakshi Malik. We can see Sakshi's mother also trying to console her daughter. There's another relative of Sakshi Malik where she's seen, also holding her head. Somvi Rathi over there, that is Sakshi's other brother as well, sitting there with her, and she is trying to sort of, get some sense of what she's actually going to do. Maybe they had decided in theory they're going to do this, but now that they've actually reached here, they are feeling a bit too emotional and thinking that can they actually go ahead with what they have planned? Can they actually immerse the medals that they had won, with so much difficulty for the country? So we are here at Har Ki Pauri, constantly giving you live visuals. Vijay Harinder trying his best to give you as much close-up as possible, airing, the brothers are trying to give some air to Sakshi Malik. We can see everyone that's sitting on the floor is holding their heads. They are, of course, contemplating, thinking again of what they've decided, of whether they should go ahead with it or not. Or, we saw an earlier tweet from Rakesh Tiket as well, who had made his presence felt at Jantar Mantar, saying that let's not do this. We will find a way to get you heard, to get your grievances heard. But the wrestlers are now here, and once they step down from the car, one would have thought that there is going to be no looking back for them. But they continue to sit here at Har Ki Pauri, and Sakshi Malik visibly very, very upset, very, very emotional with what she has planned, with what she had planned to do with her medals. Remember, she is her medal from Rio Olympics was very, very historic in its own way. She was almost losing, and then in the second round she made a comeback in the last 20 seconds to win that elusive bronze medal for the country. So it is, of course, going to be very, very special for her. 2016 Olympics was not very great for India. It was only woman power that we were talking about when Sakshi Malik and PV Sindhu were the only ones who had won medals in the Rio Olympics. So clearly that medal is going to be very, very special for Sakshi. Whether she will actually have the courage to immerse it in the Ganga or not is what we are waiting to see. All the other wrestlers as well. Bajrang Punia, like I said, winning the historic bronze medal in 2021 Tokyo Olympics alongside Neeraj Chopra when he had won the gold medal and created history for the country. So both Bajrang and Sakshi will have their Olympic medals very close to their hearts, to their chest, and they are going to be very, very emotional once they actually go.
Well, those are dramatic visuals on your screens right now. Emotional moment for all the wrestlers of international acclaim. Sakshi Malik, Bajrang Punia and Vinesh Phogat over there, taking a moment before they finally decide to immerse their hard-earned medal into the holy river Ganga in a mark of protest and in order to draw the attention of the powers that be, seeking justice and seeking action against the WFI chief, Brij Sharan Singh, who has been accused of sexual harassment by several wrestlers, including a minor. The family members are encircling those wrestlers who have almost broken down over there at Haridwar at the Har Ki Pauri. My colleague Karishma has been getting us live reports from on ground zero. As of now, there is a large number of people who have come and gathered over there to stand in solidarity and show the support to these protesting wrestlers. It is a huge step for these wrestlers to decide to immerse their medal in a bid to escalate the protest. This is not optics. This is definitely a very emotional moment for these wrestlers to be able to come to a decision like this. It takes a lot for a wrestler to arrive at a decision like this. I'm also joined by our guest at this point in time to discuss this further. I'm joined by Mr. Ranjit Bajaj, who has been a former India under-19 football player. Mr. Bajaj, thank you for taking our time and joining us here. These are the visuals that we are showing at our screens right now. These are live visuals. The wrestler seems to be absolutely emotional. They have broken down at this point in time because they feel that their agitation and the manner in which they were treated in the Jantar Mantar on Sunday has shocked the nation. How do you see this moment? Why has a wrestler today come to a brink of immersing their hard-earned medals into the holy river?
First of all, thank you so much for having me, ma'am, on the program. But I would have preferred to be here in happier times celebrating these medals. But today we are talking about something which will pain every sportsman, sportswoman in India. Because you don't understand, like, Abhinav Bindra, our first individual gold medalist, he has it on his wall that the Olympic is not every 4 years, it's every day. It's just the culmination of those 4 years of efforts which happens on the last day. So all these medals are basically culmination of over 100 years of mehnat, of khoon pasina. For who? For the country. So, and when these, all they wanted, I may be speaking against the powers that may be, but all they wanted was justice where law supports them. See, Brij Bhushan keeps on saying that I'm innocent, I'm innocent. That is okay. He may be innocent according to him, but law has to take its own course. For law to take its own course, the moment an allegation like this is put, you have to resign from your post. Otherwise, they cannot investigate properly. So suppose if these people have named 20 functionaries of the Wrestling Federation of India as either witnesses or corroborators or collaborators or somebody who's going to probably stand by them, no one is going to stand by them when Brij Bhushan is still going to be on the helm of the federation. That was not that. So that took a huge movement just to get him out. And now all they want is that if an FIR has been registered under the POSCO thing, he has to be arrested. That's the law. There is no, the law says in a POSCO case, the arrest has to be done immediately. And then he can apply for a bail. So bail is a given right. The court decides whether the person deserves the bail or not. But I don't think anyone else can decide whether he should be arrested or not when a case, an FIR has been registered under such serious allegations. And that too by a minor. So one of the girls was a minor. And the moment a woman, and this has been proven by fact of law, that you don't require evidence. You require a woman's allegation. A woman's allegation, according to the Supreme Court, is proof enough. She does not even require any witnesses. If her allegation says that, and it is the onus is on the accused to prove himself innocent, where it's a woman or a child. So here we see very heavy-handed tactics. All I'm saying is that they could have been a better way, and they should have been a better way, because these guys have given it their all for the country. And it's a moment of shame for me as a sportsman, for me as now as a sports administrator, to be able to tell girls, go join wrestling or go join any sports. When these girls and boys are the role models of our country, of the young nation, and especially the sportsmen, they look up to them. So all the girls who joined wrestling are looking up to Sakshi, Malik, and they've done it, or Bajrang Punia, all the boys. And if they see that their heroes are being treated in this shabby manner, for someone who is just a politician, it really is a very sad day for the country.
Mr. Bajaj, you've made some very pertinent points over there. Of course, only a girl's testimony is all that is required in cases of POCSO. That should be enough as to try and urge upon any entity to step aside till he gets a clearance from an investigating committee or an organization. But having said that, do you think the wrestlers have been let down by the system per se? The fact that despite the call given by the wrestlers, there has been no outreach from the government's end to try and establish a dialogue, to try and help them, convince them and change their mind, where they decided to go ahead and immerse their medals in the holy river of Ganga. They are right now sitting on those roads over there at Har Ki Pauri. They are taking a moment over there. These are unprecedented scenes. We've seen exactly these faces holding up the tricolour with their smiles flashing across, sending goosebumps to all the people watching them, raise the tricolour and making India proud. And today they have to be sitting over there, crouching, taking a moment with their hands on their head and crying. Do you think they've been failed by the system?
Yes, I totally agree with you, Samia. This is the system which has failed them, and it's going to keep failing them because there are no safeguards. You don't have. See, uh, I just read an article in the newspaper the other day which carried out investigation that even after all this is happening, how many of our sports associations are actually following the recommendations of having a system where someone can go and complain for sexual harassment, where their employees can go and do that. 18 of those federations out of 30 something don't have the even a system for someone to go complain. Forget about taking action. So we are way, way far back from the rest of the world. In fact, when we keep on talking about Nari Shakti and it's all about women empowerment, if we want to really empower women, we have to make sure that when they stand up for their rights, we support them no matter what. Um, you don't understand how difficult it is for a woman to stand up in front of everyone, and especially such a famous woman to stand up and say that this man has done that to me. Nobody does that. You have to understand, and I know I come from a family which has been through this, so I know what only a woman can understand this. And I've been taught by my mother that this is enough because what it takes for a woman to come out. And then it's not one, it's not two, it's not three, it's seven. So you can't convince seven different women to do this and come up and say the same kind of thing about one man. No matter what kind of implications you have for them, nobody will do that. And trust me, if there's seven who have come up, there must be at least 70 others who have not come up. So we are dealing with something which needs to be nipped right here because this happened in tennis with the chief of tennis. And I remember the DGP of Haryana being the chief of tennis, and he had molested some girl, and that girl committed suicide, Ruchika. This happened in football. This happened now in wrestling. So it's not a problem which is only limited to wrestling. It's all over. These predators are all over the place. And it's so sad to see that instead of clamping down on them, the system is in fact trying to, in a way, shield them. Because, for example, if this was a normal citizen who had been accused of these heinous crimes, he would have been arrested on day one. He would have been thrown out of his job. He would have been banned by all the associations he's in because nobody wants to be dealing with a pervert or sending their girls to train under a pervert. So, and it's not only going this, how we deal with this situation is going to affect, you can mark my words, is going to affect the number of girls who take up sports in the next 10 years for the country. Trust me, it'll be cut down, slashed down by a huge percentage because no dad or mom will send them to these
over there. And this is an emotional moment for all of us who have seen these athletes, these wrestlers making India proud and winning medals and making historic moments for everybody to remember and cherish. I'm also joined by our guest who's a former volleyball player, Ms. Jagmati Sangwan, here with us. Ms. Sangwan, thank you for taking our time and joining us here at Mirror Now. You know what Mr. Bajaj was saying a short while ago, Ms. Sangwan, is that it takes a lot for a woman to be able to come out, overcome the initial apprehension of being able to stand up for the wrong that has been done to her. There are 7 such women, including a minor, who's been able to do that. And right now, they are sitting over there at Har Ki Pauri. We are getting those live visuals from Haridwar right now on your screens, where my colleague Karishma has been reporting from ground zero. It's disheartening to see these wrestlers with their, head hanging down, waiting for a moment to be able to absorb this moment, to take the final plunge, to put their medals in the holy river. Ms. Sangwan, the issue is, how are we ever going to ask women to get into sports if there are going to be no safeguards or people to stand up for them?
हाँ, बिल्कुल सही कहा साम्या आपने कि पर जब लगा पूरे घर का बजट लगाया जाता है उसके करियर के ऊपर,
I will
तब
reconnect
जाकर
with
एक मेडल।
Ms. Jagmati Sangwan. There is some problem with the network issue. यस मिस सांगवान, आप प्लीज आगे जाके
इसी तो
बताइए आप क्या
हाँ,
बोलना
हाँ,
चाह
हाँ,
रही हैं कि औरतों को, महिलाओं को स्पोर्ट्स में आने के लिए कैसे एनकरेज किया जाएगा अगर सिस्टम और जो हमारा गवर्नमेंट है वो उनके साथ जो है खड़ा नहीं है।
हाँ, बिल्कुल आप सही कह रहे हैं। अभी आज जो ये नजारा है हर की पौड़ी और हरिद्वार के अंदर, वो इस चीज का उदाहरण है कि जब किसी भी देश को उसके कानून की बजाय किसी की मनमर्जी से चलाया जाता है, तो बड़े से बड़े सूरमा जो हैं वो भी निराशा के अंदर धकेले जा सकते हैं। ये वही लड़कियां हैं जिन्होंने बिल्कुल अविकसित देश से आते हुए, बिल्कुल गांव के छोटे परिवार, गरीब परिवारों से आते हुए अंतरराष्ट्रीय स्तर के ऊपर मेडल जीत के दिखाया, तमाम विपरीत परिस्थितियों का मुकाबला करते हुए। लेकिन आज जब उन्हीं के देश के अंदर उस देश की पूरे जो स्टेट और उसकी एजेंसीज है, जब वो कानून का आदर नहीं कर रहे, जब वो कानून को नहीं मान रहे हैं और कानून के हिसाब से कार्रवाई नहीं चल रही है, तो वो कितनी दुखी है और उनके साथ पूरा देश कितना दुखी है। हमारे जैसे जो स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन है, जिन्होंने अपने लाइफ के 20-20 साल स्पोर्ट्स करते हुए लगाए, और आज जब ये लड़कियां वहां हर की पौड़ी पर जिस स्थिति में बैठी है, इसको देखकर सबका दिल रो रहा है, आत्मा रो रही है। और हम उस लोकतंत्र के नागरिक हैं जो कहते हैं कि कानून और हमारा सबसे पुराना लोकतंत्र है और हमारा सबसे मजबूत लोकतंत्र है। अरे खाक लोकतंत्र है। तुम्हारा जो अपराधी है वो प्रधानमंत्री के सामने बैठ के वहां पे दंदना रहा है। अनुराग ठाकुर खेल मंत्री बकवास करता है, गोली मारो सालों को, तेरे सामने बैठा है ये ब्रिजभूषण शरण सिंह, वहां संसद के अंदर मारो गोली। उधर से योगी बकवास करता है, बुलडोजर चला देंगे। 35 केस है, 38 केस है, इससे पहले भी। ये पहला केस नहीं है उस आदमी के ऊपर, उसके ऊपर आप कार्रवाई नहीं कर सकते। और जो रेसलर्स हैं उनको 7 घंटे के अंदर एक से एक झूठा केस, बेसलेस, बेबुनियाद राइटिंग चल रही है जंतर मंतर के ऊपर। कौन सी राइटिंग चल रही थी? क्यों ये धाराएं लगाई गई हैं इनके ऊपर? कोई किसी भी इंसान को ऐसी संवेदनहीन सरकार जो है वो निराशा की परिस्थितियों में धकेल सकती है, और वही इन खिलाड़ियों के साथ गुजर रहा है। ये बेचारे कोई प्रोफेशनल उस तरह से आंदोलनकारी वो लोग नहीं है। ये अब
जी बिल्कुल मिस सांगवान, हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए। आई एम ऑल्सो ज्वाइंड बाय the NCP's national spokesperson, Mr. Clyde Crasto, here with us. Thank you, Mr. Crasto, for taking our time and joining us here. I'd like to bring to attention the tweet that you put out this morning. This was a very hard-hitting tweet that you put out. You say that, "Dear Sachin Tendulkar, good to know that you are being appointed by the BJP-led Maharashtra government as a Smile Ambassador for the state's Swachh Mukh Abhiyan. But do you know that BJP, to support their MP Brij Sharan Singh, has snatched the smile of our wrestlers?" You also go on to say that the wrestlers are seeking justice, but the BJP is turning a blind eye to protect their MP. Just like you, the women wrestlers of our country are also our pride. As a sportsperson, it is your duty to support your fraternity. Hope you speak up and be their smile ambassador too. Mr. Crasto, what exactly happened that you decided to put out this tweet, and you also tagged Mr. Tendulkar over there?
You see, the Maharashtra government has asked Mr. Tendulkar to be a smile ambassador. But the truth here is the whole country and the world has been watching us in the last few months, that our wrestlers, our women wrestlers, are fighting for justice. There is one Brij Sharan Singh whom they are accusing. Whether right, wrong, at least go and talk to the wrestlers. Take up the issue. Nobody is taking up this issue. And here we have our wrestlers. The women are being dragged on the streets of Delhi. These are the same champions who brought glory to our country, who are our pride. And when they came, these ministers were there to see them taking photo opportunities. And when they are suffering, None of these people are around. Where is our women and child? What about this? It is so saddening and heart-wrenching to see these wrestlers are now going to go and put their medals into the holy Ganges.